Well, live visuals now coming in from the Kremlin as President Putin gets ready to formally annex 4 Ukrainian regions which are currently under Moscow's control. President Putin is also expected to speak at this Kremlin function that you're now seeing on your screens. So 4 Ukrainian regions that are being incorporated into Russia now formally, escalating the 7-month-long Ukraine war and perhaps taking it into a very unpredictable new phase. In fact, the UN chief speaking about this event called it a dangerous escalation. President Putin will preside over a treaty signing on the entry of new territories into the Russian Federation. And this comes after some hastily completed referendums in which Moscow-backed leaders in these occupied regions claimed majorities of up to 99% in favor of joining Russia. Maha, joining us at this point with the latest on this story. Maha, as we see these sort of grand scenes from the Kremlin, what is this going to mean?
Well, this certainly isn't going to augur well as far as the friction between the West and Russia is concerned, because not only have the Western nations called this referendum a sham of a referendum, saying that they do not recognize this bid by Russia to annex these 4 regions of Ukraine, but the UN also has called it a grave escalation. They have called upon Russia, a permanent 5 member of the United Nations Security Council, to act responsibly. But we are seeing President Putin go ahead as planned. He is going to be signing that order anytime now. The signing ceremony is starting in Kremlin, after which there are some grand celebrations that are also planned. In about an hour or so from now, we'll see some grand celebrations and parade taking place in Moscow's Red Square as well. So what President Putin is trying to depict here is that despite the fact that the West has been pressuring them, also they are under heavy sanctions from the West, they will continue to remain defiant. He is saying that this step was necessary for Russia because of the eastward expansion of NATO. It was a security issue for Russia. And in the context of 2 regions in Donbass, that is Lugansk and Donetsk, if you take a look at the executive order, Ankita, it also mentions that it is what the people of that area have asked for, which is basically alluding to the referendum, but that has been called a sham exercise. So on its part in Russia, they have claimed that there were observers from various countries who were there during this referendum, and on their some of their mouthpieces, they've also run statements of these so-called observers talking about how this referendum is taking place smoothly in a manner where people are voting fearlessly for this referendum. But nonetheless, this is an escalation, creating further friction now between the West and Russia. Russia says that they are not going to tolerate the hegemony of the West. This is not going to be a unipolar world anymore. On the other hand, we have seen the Ukrainian president not just calling this a sham exercise, saying that...
in fact, he said this was a Kremlin freak show. So strong words indeed. But also, Zelensky is now blaming Moscow for shelling a convoy of civilian cars today in Zaporizhia. And over 23 people believed to have been killed in that attack, Maha?
Yes, that is a claim that has been made by the Ukrainian side. Zaporizhia is also one of the regions where the referendum was conducted on Friday. That is one of the 4 regions which has now, or rather which Russia is in the process of annexing. The executive order copy is already out for Zaporizhia. That happened a few hours ago. The signing is going to take place anytime now. A very critical region as well, Ankita, because this is where there is a huge nuclear power plant. And we have seen even the IAEA expressing grave concern over the possibility of escalation causing any sort of radioactive levels rising in that region. So very critical again, because we have seen attempts by Russia to be able to grab some of these areas, especially these nuclear power plants. specifically this one as well as Chernobyl, there was a concerted effort by Russia to grab these critical assets of Ukraine as well.
All right, Maha, thanks very much indeed. And of course, we'll come back to you for more updates as this story develops. Lots of events planned in Moscow today. As Maha was pointing out, there's going to be a concert to mark the event, and that's going to be in the Red Square at the heart of Moscow. We'll have more details on that as the evening progresses.